Hello dear Libra, something amazing is coming your way in the next 48 hours. And here's the truth. You won't just witness the change. You will be the change. You didn't click on this video by accident. This is not random. This is divine timing, a spiritual appointment that your soul has scheduled maybe long before you even knew what you needed. The universe has been whispering to you. And today, it's speaking louder. This is a reading for your heart, not just your horoscope. So, take a breath. Imagine we're sitting together at the end of a long day, and you've finally found a safe, sacred moment to pause. That pause is where everything begins. Because Libra, I see you. You've been trying to hold it all together, smiling when it hurt, staying silent to keep the peace, bending over backwards so others wouldn't feel uncomfortable. But the balance you've been keeping isn't always harmony. Sometimes, it's quiet exhaustion. But here's what's changing. This time, the balance returns to you. You are no longer asked to split yourself in two for the sake of others. This is your moment to stop performing balance and start living in truth. The universe is aligning something for you right now, whether that's in the form of a divine opportunity, a financial shift, or a soul-level healing. But more importantly, this is about a deeper shift inside you. And if you're already feeling it, the flutter in your chest, the electricity in your hands, the quiet, yes, in your spirit, then comment below right now, I am ready for something amazing. That single sentence sends a signal not just to this community, but to the universe itself that you're ready to receive, to awaken, to lead. Because Libra, this reading isn't here to fix you. It's here to remind you of what you already know. You are powerful. You are worthy. And yes, you are the greatest change your life has been waiting for. And before we move deeper into the message today, let me take a moment to say this. Thank you. Thank you for your presence. For every like, every comment, every share, and every new subscriber who joins the family here at Zodiac Whisper Tarot, you are the reason this light keeps spreading. Your energy fuels this channel and helps deliver these soul-guided messages to those who need them most. If you've been praying for confirmation, consider this it. If you've been carrying a question silently in your chest, let today be the start of your answer. And if you've been feeling like you've been walking alone, know that there's divine company with you. Just like when you open scripture and the verse speaks directly to your moment, this is your spiritual nudge. This is one of those moments. So Libra, stay with me. Because what the universe is about to reveal in this reading is nothing short of remarkable. And the more you listen, the more you'll remember what your soul has known all along. Let's begin. Sometimes, the most extraordinary breakthroughs don't come wrapped in gold or thunder. They arrive quietly, like a knock at the door you weren't expecting, or a soft whisper reminding you of your worth when you've nearly forgotten it. For Libra, the presence of the Ace of Pentacles in your energy field is no accident. It is a sacred signature, a divine reminder that something in your external world is about to align with what your inner world has long deserved. This card does not merely promise money or material reward. It is the universe saying, I saw your effort, even when no one clapped. I witnessed the days you gave without return, the hours you invested in silence. You see, the path to abundance for Libra is not about greed or grandeur. It's about finally allowing yourself to receive without guilt. For too long, you've made room for others. You've split yourself in half just to make sure everyone else had enough. But the soul gets tired of always being the giver. And when you pull this card, it's not just about a job offer or a financial surprise, it's a cosmic declaration. Your season of harvest has begun. But here's the deeper layer. Material blessings are often reflections of the value you place on yourself. If your self-worth feels fractured, you may overlook the very opportunity you prayed for. That's why the first shift is internal. Self-worth and wealth are two sides of the same energetic coin. Before abundance finds you, you must make peace with the idea that you are already enough, not because of your achievements, but simply because you exist. In astrology, Libra is ruled by Venus, the planet of beauty, balance, and value. So it's no surprise that your journey with money is also tied to how you see your own value. But this is where your wisdom comes in. When you begin treating your time, energy, and vision like precious currency, the world reflects that back to you. The law of attraction doesn't just respond to your wishes, it responds to the way you treat yourself. Think of the number 8, often seen as the number of infinite flow. It reminds you that what you give returns, but only when you allow the current of receiving to flow as freely as your generosity. The number 6, deeply tied to harmony and restoration, asks, are you ready to stop overgiving and start receiving in balance? And if you're wondering what this looks like in the real world, it could be something as simple as an unexpected refund, a call from someone offering to help, or a stranger opening a door for you at exactly the right moment. These aren't coincidences, they are spiritual nudges. They're moments that say, you are supported, even when you think you're alone. In our busy lives, it's easy to miss these signs. But just like when you open a page of scripture and the verse seems written just for you, these moments are quiet confirmations that divine timing is at work. Sometimes God's provision doesn't look like a grand miracle. Sometimes it looks like someone remembering your name when you felt invisible, or a hand extended just before you slipped. This week, try something. Treat yourself like the sacred investment you are. Protect your time. Be mindful of where your energy flows. Don't just hope for abundance, start making space for it. That can be as literal as decluttering a drawer, or as emotional as forgiving yourself for past financial mistakes. Because when you clear space, the universe responds. And what arrives may not only replenish your bank account, it might restore your faith. So Libra, if you've ever received something right on time, a gift, a call, a chance, I'd love for you to share that in the comments. Let others witness how the universe works. Your story might be someone else's sign. There's a different kind of warmth that enters your life when love finally aligns with truth. Not performance. Not duty. Not obligation. But truth. For Libra, whose heart so often bends to keep the scales from tipping, love can feel like a balancing act, one where you're constantly adjusting yourself to match what someone else needs. But now, something deeper is unfolding. This is not the kind of love that asks you to shrink. This is the kind of love that sees you, celebrates you, and invites you to rise. The presence of the Sun and the Six of Pentacles in your energy suggests that clarity and mutual recognition are arriving, maybe quietly, but undeniably. What makes this moment so significant isn't just about romance, though love is certainly involved. It's about feeling safe enough to be fully seen. That kind of love is sacred, the kind where someone holds space for the whole of you, your light and your shadows, your strength and your softness. And for those who are already in a relationship, this could be the time when the light returns, perhaps after a period of distance or emotional fog. A conversation, a trip, a shared memory might come like a gentle breeze, rekindling the connection and reminding you both why you chose each other in the first place. Not out of routine, but because something deeper called you to walk this road together. And if you're currently single, this message is just as meaningful. Because someone may already be on the periphery of your life, watching quietly, admiring the way your spirit moves through the world, drawn not to your appearance but to the energy you carry. This isn't a fleeting spark. This is the beginning of something rooted, intentional, and honest. But here's the secret that so many people overlook. In order to attract a love that reflects your soul, you must first treat your soul like it's worth being loved. Self-love isn't a prerequisite to romance, it is the energetic blueprint that teaches others how to love you well. In the realm of astrology, Libra is ruled by Venus, the planet of love and connection. But Venus doesn't just symbolize beauty, she governs harmony, fairness, and emotional reciprocity. This means that for you, love isn't love unless it's mutual, unless it flows in both directions without distortion. And yet, it's common for Libras to compromise themselves too far, losing their center in the pursuit of peace. But the season you're stepping into no longer allows for one-sided devotion. The light of the sun asks you to illuminate the spaces where you've settled for less than you deserve and then invites you to receive more. There's a spiritual concept that mirrors this truth beautifully, the idea that love, in its highest form, is a reflection of divine grace freely given, not earned, not bargained for. Just as we are reminded in moments of faith that we are loved in our imperfection, in our waiting, in our uncertainty, so too are we called to believe that the right connection will love us through those same seasons. Not every relationship is meant to last. But the ones that come to restore rather than deplete often arrive once we stop chasing and start aligning. Maybe love hasn't been easy for you lately. Maybe you felt unseen, or worse, misunderstood. But let this reading be a gentle reminder. The love you've given out without condition is coming back around, and this time, it comes with roots. Let it find you while you're being fully yourself. Let it feel safe enough to stay because you no longer apologize for your light. This week, wear or surround yourself with golden yellow, a color that channels the energy of the sun, uplifting your heart and attracting warmth. And if something in this message resonates, share with someone what part of your heart is finally ready to be seen. When you speak it aloud, you become the lighthouse for the love you deserve. There's a quiet kind of strength that Libra is stepping into now, one that doesn't shout but deeply restores. This phase is not about chasing after external victories, those will come, but about a sacred recalibration within your soul. When the Temperance card appears, it doesn't just suggest balance, it whispers of a divine orchestration where your body, mind, and spirit are learning how to dance together again. It's the kind of healing that often goes unnoticed by others, but you feel it deeply. You sleep better. Your chest feels lighter. The racing thoughts that once felt constant begin to slow. There's no overnight miracle here, only the soft, persistent miracle of you choosing to honor your well-being as your first priority. This is a period where you're not escaping life, you're re-entering it with clarity. Maybe it began with something as small as sipping more water, stepping outside barefoot for a moment, or finally making space for stillness before sleep. Perhaps you turned off the noise and turned inward. And in that silence, something sacred responded. You began to breathe deeper. Not just with your lungs but with your soul. In astrology, Libra is ruled by Venus, planet of beauty, harmony, and equilibrium. But few talk about the inner chaos Libra endures to create peace for others. You've been carrying not only your burdens but sometimes emotional weight that was never yours to begin with. Now, the universe is gently asking, who will create peace for you? And the answer is you. You, choosing to no longer postpone your healing. You, choosing to listen to the rhythms of your own needs. This is not selfish. As one of the most powerful self-help truths reminds us, taking care of yourself is not self-indulgence, it is self-respect. We live in a world that often glamorizes exhaustion and overlooks emotional fatigue. But the divine pattern unfolding in your life now, especially through the numerology of 7, is reminding you of something sacred. Rest is holy. Recovery is purposeful. The lavender aura that surrounds this chapter of your life isn't just a color, it's a frequency. It calms your nervous system. It tells your cells that they are safe again. And when your body feels safe, your spirit can dream freely again. Even without invoking scripture, this moment echoes a timeless invitation. Come, all you who are weary, and you will find rest. There is a sanctuary forming inside you, Libra. A place where you're not performing, fixing, or pleasing, only being. And in that being, you are healing. If you're noticing the call to make small shifts like eating greener foods, lowering your caffeine intake, trying breathing meditations, or laying your phone down before bed, honor that. These are not insignificant. They are gateways. They are sacred yes to a life where your peace is no longer negotiable. And maybe someone needs to hear this today. You don't need to earn the right to slow down. You are allowed to care for yourself deeply, without apology. You are allowed to rest, and in doing so, you are not falling behind, you are preparing for everything that is meant for you. If you've been feeling this shift in your own body or spirit, I invite you to affirm it below. Comment the word restore if this message speaks to your current season. Let us hold space for each other's healing in this community. And don't forget to like and subscribe if you felt seen in this message. More energy shifting videos are coming your way here at Zodiac Whisper Tarot. There are moments when the universe allows certain energies to surface, not to harm you, Libra, but to test your clarity, strength, and alignment. The Five of Swords represents not just external conflict, but a subtle spiritual examination. Can you recognize which battles are not yours to fight? Can you walk away not in defeat, but in peace? In these next 48 hours, someone's energy may try to disrupt your light. It may come cloaked in passive-aggressive remarks, competitive behavior from a colleague, an unexpected message from someone in your past, or even a family member who never understood your worth. But the lesson isn't about confrontation, it's about calibration. Are you willing to protect your frequency, even if it means choosing silence over proving yourself? People often confuse silence with weakness, but for someone as cosmically attuned as you, Libra, silence is your power. Not everyone deserves access to your emotions. Just because someone is loud doesn't mean they are right. And just because someone provokes doesn't mean you must respond. This phase is about energetic sovereignty, the ability to remain seated in your inner peace while the world around you may swirl with projections, envy, or confusion. This card, when appearing in your reading, reminds you that the most elegant form of protection is not retaliation, it's detachment rooted in deep awareness. In the realm of self-healing, this is the time to reinforce your energetic boundaries. Ask yourself, where am I allowing others to pull me out of alignment? Are there conversations I keep entertaining that only drain me? Is there someone who thrives on my reaction and thus steals my attention and energy in subtle ways? This is your chance to recalibrate. It's okay to say no without guilt. It's okay to be unavailable to drama. Your peace is not a luxury, it's a necessity for the next chapter of your abundance. From the perspective of cosmic psychology and divine design, remember this: when a major upgrade is coming into your life, resistance often rises through human channels. Someone else's discomfort with your growth may show up as critique, gossip, or manipulation. Do not take the bait. You are being asked to ascend through grace, not aggression. And that requires spiritual discipline and discernment. The lucky color for this energetic test is deep black, a color often misunderstood but incredibly powerful in protection work. It absorbs negativity, acts as a shield, and reminds you to stay rooted in your center. Wearing black or visualizing a black cloak around your aura in moments of discomfort can help anchor you in calm authority. Use this as a spiritual tool, not just an aesthetic choice. Let this be your invitation to rise above. Not in arrogance, but in wisdom. You don't have to prove your worth to anyone who cannot see it. Their inability to value your light does not make it dimmer. As you pass through this portal of shadow and challenge, remember that not all storms come to destroy. Some arrive to teach you that your boundaries are sacred, and your silence has volume. Now I invite you, Libra, to pause and reflect. Is there someone I've been giving too much power to through my emotional reaction? What would happen if I stopped explaining and simply walked in my truth? If you feel called, comment below with one word that defines the energy you are choosing to claim today so the universe knows you are ready. Sweet Libra, you didn't come here to carry the weight of generations in silence. You came here to be the one who transforms it. The wheel of fortune turning in your reading is no coincidence, it's divine choreography. A sacred shift is unfolding, not just for you, but for your entire bloodline. There's an invisible thread weaving through time, and it ends with you. You are the closing chapter of an old karmic book, one that has taught your family how to survive, how to stay quiet, how to shrink themselves to fit into boxes they never chose. But now, the ink has dried on those pages, and Spirit is asking you to begin writing a new story. One rooted not in fear, but in freedom. In the quiet spaces between your thoughts, you may have felt her presence, a woman who once walked this earth with love in her hands and wisdom in her silence. Perhaps she was your mother, your grandmother, or a maternal figure you never quite understood. But now, from beyond the veil, she stands beside you not as a ghost of the past, but as a guardian of your future. She whispers through synchronicities, protects you through delays, and watches as you take each bold step forward, breaking the patterns she could not. Her soul doesn't carry regret, only gratitude. Because you, dear Libra, are doing what once felt impossible, ending the loop. This is not a burden. It's a calling. You were not chosen to suffer, you were chosen to set free. And healing yourself is the first act of justice. Every time you choose honesty over silence, authenticity over approval, or courage over comfort, you rewrite your family's energetic blueprint. The child you once were, the one who held their breath in order to keep the peace, no longer needs to play that role. And neither do the children who will come after you. The energy of the number 9 surrounds you now. In numerology, it signals completion, wisdom gained, and the gentle release of what no longer serves. What if your tears are not a sign of weakness, but a baptism? What if your rage is not your enemy, but a compass pointing toward liberation? These questions deserve your presence. And even in moments when you feel most alone, remember that healing true soul-deep healing is often the most sacred form of rebellion. When you wear white in these days, let it be a symbol. A symbol that you are cleansing generations of silence. A declaration that you are stepping into the light not just for yourself, but for the voices that were never heard. The shame that was passed down stops here. The belief that love must hurt ends now. And every time you exhale, you are not just breathing for yourself, but for all those who came before you. You don't need to fix your family. You only need to free yourself. And in doing so, you give permission to others to do the same. Remember, faith doesn't always look like miracles parting the sea. Sometimes it's simply you standing in your truth and saying, "This cycle ends with me." And that, Libra, is nothing short of holy. So let your journey continue not in fear of who you might disappoint, but in celebration of who you were born to become. If this message resonates with you, share your truth in the comments. What pattern are you ready to break? What healing begins with you? Let your story be known, so others may find the courage to begin theirs. You are not just waiting for something amazing to happen. You are that something amazing. Every step you've taken, every tear you've shed, and every time you've chosen peace instead of chaos, compassion instead of revenge, you've rewritten your destiny. In the next 48 hours, the universe may surprise you with external signs, maybe a financial blessing, an unexpected message of love, or the return of someone who finally sees your worth. But don't let the spotlight distract you. The true miracle is the inner awakening that's already taking place inside you. You're not here just to witness change, you are the living embodiment of it. What if you truly believed that everything you've been through was preparation? What if this exact moment is not the end of your story, but the unlocking of your divine mission? Maybe the silence wasn't absence, it was calibration. Maybe the waiting wasn't punishment, it was alignment. And maybe the people who misunderstood or tried to diminish you were simply being used to show you what you never want to become. So now, Libra, as the energy shifts and a new chapter beckons, you have a sacred choice. Will you shrink back into the old patterns, or will you rise into the radiance that has always lived within you? Will you allow the pain to define you or refine you? Say this aloud with me now: I am worthy of the amazing things that are coming. I am the shift the world around me needs. If that affirmation stirs something in you, write it in the comments. Let that be your energetic signature, a way of saying to the universe, "Yes, I'm ready." Let it begin. You are not passive in your transformation, you are the conscious co-creator of it. And if no one's told you this lately, thank you for being here. Thank you for choosing light in a world that often pulls us into darkness. Thank you for listening to your intuition when it whispered, even when others laughed. The future isn't just bright because good things are coming, it's bright because you are finally stepping into it. If this message spoke to you in any way, take a moment to like the video, subscribe to our channel Zodiac Whisper Tarot, and share your experience in the comments. Your voice, your story, your energy, they matter. You matter. And this is only the beginning.